All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed their week break from our last session because we have a party to get to, I believe. But first, as is our growing tradition, we're going to introduce ourselves. And I think this way, what we will do is... Here's what we'll do. Okay, so what's the order on the Discord? Is it Kate, Deb? Does everyone have the same order? Am I in the fourth spot?
You are for me.
Okay.
I've got Kate, Deb, me, you, Will, Randall.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah, same.
Randall, is that what you have?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. Because this is not going to work.
Like, I'm I'm first, and then Kate, and stuff like that. But it's the same order. Just
you're first. Okay, that will work.
Yeah,
then.
but then Kate, Deb. Yeah.
So what we're going to do
either at the beginning of it
is we're going to introduce ourselves, but I'll be in this one, and we're going to guess if the person to your... It'll be right as like you're reading. If they are...
Mine's vertical?
Right or down?
Down,
Yeah.
down, okay.
Right or down. If they are a... I think Kate and Randall had this session. If you think they would make a good sub, dom, or switch.
Some of us have insider knowledge.
Yeah, Randall is literally my fairy kink mother.
Okay.
It's a title I wear with pride.
All right, I'm gonna roll a dice then and pick at random. Okay.
Okay.
To decide who starts?
Yeah, decide who starts.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Will.
I start.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
You're introducing yourself.
I'm introducing myself and then making an assessment on Randall.
Yes.
Okay. Well, hello. My name is Will. I play Roscoe, the Storm Sorcerer / Celestial Warlock. Randall. I don't have insider information on Randall, but from the characters you build, which is one of like the only ways I really know you.
Yeah.
From the characters you build and seem to enjoy, I would say sub. That you are that would be my assessment. I have very little evidence to go off of.
And you are free to correct or say nothing once you get the assessment. It's up to you.
Yeah.
That's my response.
That's a fair assessment.
That's really funny. Cause
You have chosen poorly.
No, that's really funny though. It's interesting about what aspects of people's personalities shine, not just in D&D, but like in workplace and da-da-da-da. So like I'm such an easygoing guy, except in that realm. So like I'm like, it's all good, promote, and then like I'm like, no, but then it's really so I'm wondering if I'm letting this out in my character is the other side of the equation.
Yeah.
Okay, Randall, you're up.
That's probably funny. Okay, so my name is Randall, and I play Kiki, the Kinku Tinkerer, who likes to blow things up mostly on purpose. And mostly, if she rolls well enough, it's on purpose. And I have Kate to my right on the screen. Again, I have insider knowledge. I'm going to pretend I don't have insider knowledge.
Right.
I'm actually... Okay, like I think if I knew you through the lens of only like D&D playing, I would actually probably go Switch. That's probably where.
So I technically am a switch. I lean very heavily towards sub, but I am technically a switch. I really only switch with girls though.
Okay.
Don't we all?
No, we don't.
That's true. That joke did not work out the way I intended it to. I'm sorry, Randall. I apologize.
Scoot, were you not paying attention during the Kinsey scale introduction?
Yeah, I know. I should have. It was 2 weeks ago, man. All right, I was in the mountains.
And was lost to recording.
Oh, that's the Lost to the Ages intro.
That's why I couldn't remember it. Obviously.
Trying to give you an out.
All right. Wow, really hope my parents aren't listening to this particular episode. Hi, guys, I'm Kate. I play Neva, our half-dryad druid. To my right is Deb. Deb, I'm going to say... So the thing is, the tough thing about Deb is that the characters are
so the thing you gotta understand.
Yeah.
So I get no inclination from her characters because she's absolutely intentionally played very toppy characters and very bottomy characters and very switchy characters. And sometimes she plays like both pairs, like both partners in a relationship, which makes it even more confusing. So for that reason, for the presentation of versatility, I'm going to assume switch for Deb.
That is incorrect. I am 100% Dom. Well,
you know, she's half right, technically.
Yeah, but when I
half
my
right.
characters, I do like to throw in like different things. I like to, you know, I don't want all my characters to be the same person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
You do
like
a very good job of portraying a variety of mindsets in the person.
Okay, first of all,
How dare you?
how dare you? Tiefling for life. Okay, yeah. I am Deb. I am playing Tessa, the Tiefling Paladin.
Stop her!
What a shock. To my right is Rob. And I'm gonna say that Rob is a switch, but leans a little bit more towards sub.
I think I lean a little bit more towards Dom.
Ooh, I was close.
I don't know. Depends on the circumstance. Depends on my mood. I'll take a heavy switch. Hello, I'm Rob. I play...
That's something a sub does, Rob.
Ah, shit, he's got me.
Only the ones who are into impact.
Right,
books.
sure.
Yeah.
Good thing we're not looking to monetize this, because man,
hard
would it
derailed
not
me.
be.
Nah.
Hello, I'm Rob. I'm playing Nick, the young college student wizard who's on his second adventure ever. He's doing okay. He's having a time.
Really, he is.
Not
I will
dead
say,
yet.
Yeah.
Rob, Nick is definitely like more of a sub, and Gav is absolutely a daddy dom.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yes.
There's absolutely some interesting psychology to explore of why Idri went for Rufus, given that Gav was her dad.
Yeah. There's some interesting like psyche things bleeding through there.
Formation of,
Yeah.
you know... I don't know, Scoot's the psych person here.
I have a master's degree in it, but let's continue on this conversation, please.
This conversation's great.
And Nick wants to know what you call it, or what it was called. His classmate's lizard familiar gained a bird's digestive organ through a transmutation spell gone wrong. It got a little bit crazy, and it got into their soft serve ice cream smoothies. It was a wizard's lizard gizzard blizzard.
Ugh.
To my right is Scoot, the DM, who's currently double face palming, so he can't refute me.
Wow.
Having only played D&D with Scoot, I will guess more on the Dom side, based solely on the previous conversation where he said he would bench us.
You're right. So, yes to you. I'm Scoot. I am your dungeon master, but only in the RPG way. I'm not probably qualified or certified for anything else. To my right is Mr. Grogan, and I've known Will for a long time, or I've known Will the longest, technically. We spent many years in a fine Catholic institution. Granted, it was Jesuit, so it wasn't really Catholic.
It's only mostly Catholic.
Sure, in the same way that if a cow was born in a tree, it's a bird. You can call it that. That doesn't make it a bird. I'm going to say you're muted, Will, first off.
Nah, now the timing's wrong, so I'm not going to repeat it.
Yeah. I'm going to probably go with switch, but leaning Dom.
I am only going to tell you that the answer has changed since we've known each other.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, and I believe that does introductions, folks. So, let's bring ourselves back to the world of Ryan. The gaffers, as is the proud name of these folks, have taken many many days of precautions, finding things in the woods, going on a bit of a Pineapple Express adventure. Nick has gotten maybe laid at this point at least once. Roscoe has maybe slept in a bed finally after a very couple evenings on the couch. But the evening of the party has come, so it is dawn of the final day. As you all awaken to clamoring and people moving about, people starting to yell. It's very early in the morning. Definitely sort of Neva time and some of the others, but you are now hearing this area has many, many more voices than it did before.
Where are we at this point? I assume we're all kind of like roughly in our stations.
Yep, is morning up, so you're awake, you're prepared, you're kind of moving around, you're overseeing things.
Cool.
Brunch, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we had rehearsal day. Can you remind me rough schedule of events for today? Like, are there morning activities, or is it mostly just the party in the evening?
It's mostly party in the evening. Some guests have arrived, and they are moving about, kind of enjoying the surroundings of the lake and the forest and up towards the mountains. But the party itself is this evening, although there are some people that will probably be arriving today, which is the last bit of things being taken care of. You folks are free to do as you wish.
I'm going to grab a cup of coffee and enjoy it while just doing kind of a lap of the premises. Not like a hard search for things, just trying to kind of look around, keep an eye on things as the day gets started.
When you head to the coffee, you find I'm already there, and I asked to come along on the walk.
Oh, please, of course.
Okay, go, Neva.
Once you guys start the walk, you will probably encounter Neva, who is woken up and is hanging out near the tree that she's been sleeping in.
Now, when you say hanging out, you mean like trapeze artist from the tree?
No, sitting on a branch and meditating.
Okay, that's actually probably better. I like that.
Not Cirque du Soleil style.
Neva's a little more low-key than that.
So Kiki's and she's actually a little nervous. Like she had a job with her mentor in the clockmaker shop. So she's had like a job, but this feels like her first gig, like as an adventurer. So she's like up early and dressed, and she's going to kind of patrol, quote unquote, but inside, because she thinks that's where there might be the most fuckery if there's anything happening. So she's gonna just kind of keep an eye out. She'll greet people if they will come in, and she'll introduce herself like, this is Kiki, and maybe shake their hand, and that's about it. And she just, keep an eye on things. No, my other character.
Tessa, what are you up to?
So I'm also going to be staying inside and basically like offering up my services to anybody, like if they need like decorations placed really high up or need the tables moved or.
Hello, am tall person.
Exactly. So any last minute prep stuff they need to do, lugging stuff around, I'll just kind of make myself available and stay.
I would like Kiki and Tessa to please make me a perception check, as you two are inside of the room at the moment.
Let's see, not Kiki's strongest.
Oh, I crit!
Starting strong.
Start strong for once in my life.
Oh, not bad, Kiki. So Kiki, you're kind of walking around, checking out things. The staff is finishing up, setting up all the plates and the silverware now that the party is going to be commencing. Oddly enough, you do notice that there is an extra table now than there was from last night. There's an 8th table.
Huh. Is any of... Sorry, go ahead.
I noticed her Tessa.
Well, Tessa's going to notice too, but this is what you get from your check. Tessa's going to get a little bit more.
Oh, I thought that was me. Sorry.
No. Kiki noticed that with a 14 because there's an extra table. Like you would see that.
So Kiki would like check the guest list and table arrangement document, like, and look up multiple times because she'd kind of have this like dysphoria, like, no, wait, the document says there are 7 tables, and I count there are 8. So she'd probably look check for Tessa to confirm.
That there is a table.
She can count well past
I
8.
can see above all the other
My
tables.
experimental evidence doesn't match the theory.
She
That is
maxed
in
out
fact
with
the
her
table.
int.
You're correct.
Yes. All right. So, and then she might just ask one of the staff about the extra table. Like, what for? For what?
Oh, and you see this? Oh, they just asked us to set it up. Apparently, there's some more last-minute guests coming.
Do you know who? Do you know who?
No, we just setting it up, and now we have to make some more fucking food. And they're, they head back to the kitchen. Tessa, with your crit, though, you notice 6 entities come in that you have not seen at any point so far. They are as such. So there is, the first thing that catches your eye is what is referred to as, what you would know as an otter folk. So it's a standing otter that's probably about the size of a dwarf in height. The otter is wearing pants, and that's it. He's kind of got a Chippendales thing going on, and he is just dancing, kind of making his way on the floor if he's getting some practice in. There is, watching the otter do this, is a rabbit folk, same thing, a little bit shorter, probably like halfling gnome size. There is what is referred to as a lion folk and a wolf folk, also just standing there, shaking their heads at the otter as it makes all sorts of dances. There are also 2 humanoid-looking creatures, except they're not the humans you're used to, although you know what they are. These are musins. They are humanoid-shaped, the arms, lips, kind of basic structure, except their skin tones are like pastel colors. Like, one is a very vibrant, kind of autumny vibe to her, although the hair is, it's more, the hair is kind of brown, everything kind of matches up. The gentleman is kind of Goliath-sized, but he is himself, it looks to be like a musin, as his skin is a very deep purple. Royal purple.
So being in Doge, I would recognize these as musins and creatures from the Folklands because they're pretty close by.
Yep,
Folklanders.
You are next door to the Folklands. Actually, you've had a lot of dealing with the rat folk, and the mouse folk, and the rabbit folk.
So yeah, I kind of point this out to Kiki, and I'm like, in my infinite knowledge, I say to her, "I know what this is, and I'll tell you, I've seen this before. I bet they were last minute invites. Like when people." Have to invite certain people to a wedding, but then forget to do it, and at the last minute have to throw them in, or else the whole family will go nuts. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Kiki nods sagely, even though she's never been to a wedding in her life. She's like,
Yes.
I've been to so many weddings you don't even know. People get forgotten all the time, especially when you're part of a big family.
Which Tessa is. So, they are sort of just shambling around as they all watch the otter folk eventually just finish up with a kind of Saturday Night Fever situation. Everyone claps except for the lion folk, who just sort of shakes his head, and they then begin to proceed outside into the, kind of the wider open spaces. Okay. Outside folks, perception checks, please.
12 for Neva.
16.
16 for...
And a whopping 7 for Nick.
Nick and Neva still waking up a bit.
Still working on my coffee. I'm like, whoa, it's a lot of trees out here. Oh, man. Different.
Roscoe, everything seems quiet on the Western Front, right? Everything's as it should be. The only real there is no lack of noise, certainly, because there's clanging and whatnot. There is the appropriate amount of noise you would expect from what's about to be happening.
Okay.
All right. Would anyone like to do anything else before we fast forward to the party itself?
Can I just see while we're outside, before all the guests have arrived, if our bundle of itchy powder costume things that we left in kind of booby trapped in the woods has been disturbed at all?
It has been.
That's a bummer. I wanted.
Oh no.
Well, maybe we'll still see it play out.
The clothes have been thrown off very haphazardly, and there are
Aw.
Neve would be able to tell you there are deep panic tracks running away into the woods.
Well, that's fun.
To believe it worked.
It feels like a very proportional response to gate crashing. I like a proportional response.
So we should look for people who have like red scratch marks for trying to like itch themselves too much and so on.
A lot of the people at this party have pretty long claws, so it may have been a bigger issue than we thought. Now that I play that out in my head. All right, very good.
Yep.
And actually, I'll do the same thing. The Mimic that was left some ink booby traps, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ink bomb in the patio where I'm going to be posted up later. While it's nice and bright out, can I see if that area has been disturbed at all?
Those tiles have not been disturbed. Like, people have walked over them, but they have not been like
Yeah.
dug up.
Doesn't look like. Okay, very good. Very good. That's
right.
all for me.
Anyone else?
Do we want to do an official pre-game check-in with one of the Von Lycons, or
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
you know, any updates? They didn't tell us about the table and stuff.
So
Let's have a group sit down.
The only one around is Gen, because all the others are very busy with things.
Again, will do.
Again.
Yep. So Gen,
Okay.
although it's 11 in the morning, roughly, at this point, by the time you all kind of finish your sweeps and get your stuff together, he is sitting out in the patio in like a rocking chair, and he has a tumbler of whiskey just with him, as he just is enjoying the late morning. He's listening to the birds. He's watching his son panic over things a little bit, and he's sort of enjoying that. The sort of Schadenfreude of like, that was me at one point, and then just not helping, but also not hindering, staying out of the way.
Neva, do you want to be our face to them, or do you want one of us to do that?
Sure, I can do it. Again, you look like you're enjoying the morning so far.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love fucking not doing these things anymore. Oh, it's the best. And he takes a big long hit.
I imagine so, seeing the current energy. Anything that we should know, any new developments? I did see that there's a new table in the room.
Yeah, last minute guess that Coco brought here, I believe. Always room for more.
Anything we should know about them or keep an eye out for?
The otter likes to dance a lot, and he might take those pants off. I don't know if he would be considered naked in his culture, but like...
Well, he wouldn't be the first one in this little group.
he sort of he sniffs the air. Nick?
Given that, this is your event after all, unless you tell me it's a problem that he's taken his pants off, I'll consider it not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, if, everyone's having a good time, sure, but, I'm sure it's fine. There are worse things that could happen at the party.
This is true. Anything that we should know about their group in terms of other groups that might mix poorly with them?
Well, I mean, there's the 5 little shits, so they're not going to mix well with anybody.
You're going to mix poorly with everyone, it seems.
The Targan has been loud so far, but, everyone's been pretty calm about it. The little Lombardo has shown up, and they haven't caused a scene with the Karai yet, so that's good, but I'm sure that's just down the pipe.
You've been watching all morning, I take it?
I mean, and he sort of looks at the drink like I've been watching at some points.
Any chance you saw someone itching themselves frantically?
No, but I did see a very tall, gangly gentleman run through the woods a while ago. He was hunched over, but he wasn't retching. It just seemed like he was Seemed like two people in a coat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going
Checks
around.
out, yeah.
Yeah, he was just
Yeah.
wobbling. Like, it was really... I don't know if he was drunk or something, but...
I like that Gen's like very confused by this, and we're all like, "Yeah, checks out. That's mhm.
Well, if security's fine with it, I'm sure it's okay.
All right. Well, we will leave you to your what's the opposite of Schadenfreude? You're not enjoying their pain, but you're enjoying not having to share it.
Giving no fucks.
Carry on enjoying
All of
giving.
my
no
fucks were harvested years ago. And now in my old age, my field is barren.
Enjoy that barrenness, sir.
And he salutes you all with a drink as he kind of just continues. As his wife eventually comes and joins him, and she has her own tumbler of whiskey, and they just sort of sit there, just enjoying the sun and the kind of the fresh air of the outdoors.
Wasn't that lovely?
Okay. Anything else, folks?
I'll do my last minute check-ins with the
band.
peons. No, with the wait staff, with the kitchen workers.
Okay.
Check it.
See if anyone's been, I don't know, in the kitchen causing shit this early.
So are you just gonna? Are you
Anybody new?
Are you just
Yeah, anything
scanning
weird.
over things, or are you like trying to? Are you like talking to people? Are you kind of
Yeah, talking. I'll wander into the kitchen, nice and casual, just be like, oh, hey Jonesy, how's it going? See anything weird this morning? How's the fit gone? I'll pop out a little dish, prestidigitation, help clean up brunch while we chat.
Yeah, they're enjoying. They're like, hey, it's Pantsless's boyfriend, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, that guy.
Tip my hat to him.
Yeah. Make a perception check, Nick.
Oh boy, it went so well last time.
Sure did.
Ooh-wee.
I doubled my score.
Huzzah!
To a 14.
You see two tieflings that have not been here before. Like, there's a couple of more staff, and you think, like, that might be just because, like, it's the time of.
Yeah.
But there are two of them that are very much staying together, probably more than they should. But you're not totally sure if that's just they're trying to stay together because they came as a pair, or like what's going on.
Yeah.
But these two are sort of sticking out.
I'm gonna shoot a message out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Who was closest to me when I went into the kitchen?
Probably either me or Kiki if we're in our posts.
Yeah, okay. I'll shoot a message towards where I know Kiki's post is, see if she responds. I'll say, like, hey, there's a couple of weird folks in here. I'm going to go give them a howdy. If you hear loud sounds, come on in.
Kiki will go, Roger, Roger. She's trying to sound very...
I love
This
Kiki
is-
so much.
This is a real question that may be, for practical purposes, come up, and I feel like I have messaged Kiki maybe once. Does Kiki respond in like perfect unbroken?
She can't. I mean, that's the thing. Vocalization is a physical thing, right? That's why she has the squawk box in her throat that helps. So, like, I was thinking about this, like, writing and stuff. There's nothing keeping her from being, like, speaking the Queen's English, as it were. Yeah, but from habit, she might unintentionally mimic her vocalization. But yes, she can. There's nothing holding her. She's really intelligent, and she can string things together.
There we go. I
Kiki-
think I'm back now.
Kiki-
Thank you.
Kiki also has message, by the way. She has a device that lets her do that. So it's not only Nicholas who has it. And
Stellar.
does Roscoe have message too?
No, I thought I did because I thought. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of when we're speaking to each other in Orin.
Neva
I think
can
I'm getting it backwards.
send her birds, because they can speak Orin with Kiki and now with Roscoe.
That's neat. So I'm going to go over to
she'll-
those. Oh, sorry.
And you just said you're going in. She said, "Roger, Roger." Okay.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to give someone else a heads up. I'm gonna just like wander over to them, not like aggressively or anything. Just like, give my hand. I'm like, oh hey, do I know you guys? You look really familiar.
No, we are new here. The one says, and they both.
Oh yeah. What brings you in? Just working big day?
Yeah, work. Just trying to find, get to feed ourselves and all that. Question: do you have any what do you call it here? The doobies?
Okay, before I answer that in character, as they're responding to me, do I get the vibe that they're like up to genuine skullduggery or just trying to like score something from the kitchen dudes?
Make an insight check, please.
A 19.
Something's off about these boys. They're trying very hard to blend in. Like almost too hard.
Almost too hard. They're okay. Little sus, huh?
Yep. You might want to put them out of an airlock if that's what you're asking.
That's. I mean, I didn't say it. I mean, look. Scoot's the one who suggested it. I don't know. That seems a little sus. I mean, I'm just saying. Wow. Okay. I'll be like, I don't on me because I'm working right now, but I can introduce you to someone who might if you want.
Yeah, that would be great. We'd very much appreciate that.
Awesome. I'm going to take my new friends and I'm going to try and find Neva.
Okay.
When in doubt, go find the mom friend.
Neva is outside, and Neva, you watch from your post as Nick comes up to you with 2 tieflings.
I'm gonna shoot you a finger gun as if it's like how I greet people. And message like, hey, well, I mean, I didn't say it wasn't. Shoot you a message. Yo, these guys are acting real sketch. Can you take a look? I'll be like, hey, these guys were looking for some goods. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but it's a bit of a busy day here. Did any particular reason you picked this day over another day to come seek that out?
We are just inquiring for we are new here. We're just inquiring for sources.
Right. Are you guys working the event or?
Yeah, general kitchen staff and such. Neva, make a perception check, please.
Can I really
14. I might let that.
I really want to try and pickpocket one of them with my mage hand and see if they have a badge or something.
There we go. Lucked it. 22.
Okay. Are you trying to pickpocket them, Nick?
I'm gonna. Can I stand where I'm not like in line of sight?
You would have to work that with Neva a bit because they're not focused enough on her to do anything.
Okay.
You're looking at them, Neva, and there's a moment where one of their shirts kind of dips down a little bit lower, right? Because it's loose fitting, and there's definitely some sort of mark on his, probably right above his pectoral, not quite the shoulder blade, but there's a weird insignia there.
Is it in front or in back?
It's on his front.
Okay.
So like it's right about here, like where the in between pectoral and like the shoulder blade. The shoulder. Shoulder.
That's what I was thinking. It's the shoulder blade on the back.
I know. I just misspoke.
That's what happens when you describe body parts to a PT.
I'm so sorry.
Well, actually,
We get very pedantic. All right. Am I able to make out any of it?
No, but you do catch a sight of it. You've never seen it before, though, specifically.
I'm so tempted to just like mage hand pull his shirt.
Wait, you could alternately trip and pull his shirt down by accident. Although Neva can message you back, right? Because you sent her a message.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I'll send you a new message because it has to be recent. I'll say like thoughts.
Red is
A
sus.
lot of finger guns.
Neva's gonna send back. She's gonna make it look like she's scratching her vines because dreads they get itchy.
Oh,
She's gonna send him back a tattoo on his chest.
I'm gonna turn around really fast, like I heard something, and try and play off like running my hand into him and like pulling his shirt aside.
Performance check, please.
A 20. Not that.
You do it. You turn around, and as you push him, though, he catches you and holds you there.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm really sorry about that. You okay? Didn't mean to whack you.
No, it's fine. But like you're hitting on, like you hit him, Nick, and he is solid. Like very like you didn't like you couldn't quite get it open enough for like Neva to see more, but this is a wall of a dude, and he doesn't look that big though.
I mean, Neva's gonna see that he stopped you pretty like very quick reaction.
Yeah.
Which to her screams training of some sort.
I mean, to Nick, that screams training. He was a thief gutter kid. He's had many run-ins with this character.
Right. So Neva, all right. Neva, I know what Neva's gonna do. Well, I'm kind of on duty right now, but who are you reporting to in the kitchen? So I can always come find them later and come chat with you. Once things calm down a little bit.
Right. We are reporting to the one with the face and the hair.
Neva now has mom. Neva's face is now fully reflective of mom who knows their kid is bullshitting them and wants to see how far they're going to dig themselves in.
No, which is one?
With a hand on his hip.
The other one looks at him for a second, like, you fucking idiot, and then describes to you like one of the cooks, like not the head cook, but one of the lesser ones. Gives you like an appropriate description, and is like, we're reporting to we're taking orders from her today.
Neva's going to send Pippet off to Roscoe. And Roscoe, there's going to be a small hummingbird that comes up to you.
Bonjour.
And
my weak Orin is weak French. That's sometimes Spanish. ¿Cómo se dice bird?
Bird.
If you look very confused about a hummingbird, the hummingbird's just gonna go find Kiki instead.
No, I know the hummingbird deal. I've seen it hanging around your head. No worries.
All right, then Pippet is going to. Pippet is not going to give you like a full description, but is basically going to say, ask. I'm trying to think of how they would describe them.
While Pippet flies off, sorry.
Ask the kitchen flock leader. Do they have tieflings? 2 of them, or they're not part of the flock?
Chirp, chirp, little friend. And I don't say like yes or no. I say the words chirp, chirp. And I will head toward the kitchen.
Platypus mushroom? What did you say?
Tax deductions.
Tax? No.
That's a callback.
It comes back.
Really good.
Off
work.
the hummingbird goes. So the tieflings are watching. They're going, we have to get back to the kitchen now. We've been probably gone for too long. We don't want to get in trouble. We'll see you. And
I say, hey, yeah, I'll head back with you guys and help cover at for the kitchen staff. I know them all.
Sure. And they walk back.
You're going to say hi to the one with the face and the hair.
I give Neva a wink. I'm going to do my best to prolong our walk back in case a hummingbird comes frantically whizzing up to me or something.
One does not, though, as you head in.
Okay. All right. I'll.
So I had immediately headed to the kitchen. Did I assume I'm hanging out at the manor and
Yeah, there is
peeking
a there is a
Does one of the chefs have an extra tall hat?
they do, and this you can Roscoe, you've been in Thunderblade enough to know when one of the werewolves is in a human form. And this is a werewolf woman in their human, like totally human form, because less hair in the food is always a good thing. As she's cooking, and she sort of just looks at you, and she's like, "Can I help you?"
Everyone knows the werewolf put a lot of.
Hello, I know you're busy. I know the cook game. Hello, I know you're busy.
Yeah.
I know the cook game. I'm not going to waste any of your time. Do you have 2 tieflings on your staff?
Yeah, they came up from they came down from Thunderblade. We needed extra hands.
Just today? Anything weird about them?
No, not that I look. They seem fine.
Okay. Thank you. We might be poking our head and keeping an eye. They're not raising any red flags, but raising some yellow ones.
Okay. Well, keep an eye
All
on
right.
them then, she says, and kind of looks. Where the fuck are they? And she says as she begins looking around for them.
I feel like that's an appropriate time for me and them to walk through the back door.
Yep, and she sees them, and she
I
sees
bounce.
you.
I bounce.
She begins berating them. And
Hey,
screaming
hey, sorry,
back to
no,
work.
totally my bad. I was just borrowing them for a bit of an errand. I needed them for a security thing. It's not their fault. Please don't take it out on them.
I would appreciate if you didn't take my staff today of all days.
I won't. I know. I'm sorry. It was really important. It won't happen again today.
Good, get out.
I get it.
Okay. Tessa, Kiki, anything you folks like to do?
So we don't know anything about this.
Not at the moment.
We're in our station. Yeah, so yeah, we'll just keep an eye out for new people coming in, and Kiki will introduce herself to just, like, hi Kiki, like that's it. And she'll pretty much be like, hi Kiki, hear their name and like walk away. Like she's not the greeting committee, she just wants to get like a name. That's all. And she wants to keep an eye on like the guest list to know like, okay, this is this person, right? This table, okay. That's basically what she does.
So eventually the time comes and everyone seats themselves. The band strikes up, and the evening begins. Hors d'oeuvres are brought out, and much like the rehearsal, everything starts to go according to plan. The speeches are given, a couple of awards are given out, and you get to the main part of dinner. I would like everyone to make perception checks, please.
Scoot, for what it's worth, on whatever I'm able to perceive, I have taken up at this point my post out on the patio, so I'm not actually in the room.
Tessa with a 10. I like it.
Solid even.
Ooh, look at us. We got a 12, 2, 10, 11.
Nice.
I don't like that very much. I don't know if I want to waste the luck on it.
14 for the patio.
Mm-hmm. Are we keeping these folks?
I'm gonna burn the luck.
Yep.
You need at least one good roll. 16 is not even that much better, but it's better. I'll take a 16.
Roscoe, everything clear and free on the patio. People do come out, talk briefly. Business, nothing particularly malicious, just run-of-the-mill stuff.
Yeah, I'm probably occasionally having a cigarette and making a point of, like, when people come out, just kind of clocking them and then giving as wide a berth as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And inside, it would be Neva, notices that at the 5 table, the 5 heirs is starting to get a bit rowdy as the Virk has a small castle's worth of empty glasses of alcohol in front of him. It's like he's building a wall with them.
He can build a wall on the table if he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he pays for it.
It's open bar.
No.
I'm glad I got a laugh out of both.
I get
How big are his hands?
you.
I missed that.
Since Kiki and Tessa are right there, I'm gonna leave that in their capable hands. If I make eye contact with them, I might gesture to that table just so they pay a little extra attention to it.
Okay. Dinner carries on. The main meal is had. Is there an incident? No, there is not an incident yet.
Ooh.
Stella.
Dessert comes. Everyone has a lovely time. More drinking, more carousing, and now the party has gone from that kind of stuffy, this is an official affair, to the point where everyone's starting to loosen up a bit, right? Some of the formality has been relaxed, mostly plied with alcohol. As you see, the otter folk is just dancing in a seat, has gone to the dance floor and has just begun dancing to the smooth jazz music they have going, which is an odd bold choice, but it is. And the band, seeing that, not wanting to leave them alone, kind of picks up the pace, making some things, and people begin to move to the center to begin dancing, sometimes freestyle, sometimes more kind of formally and in couples. And it's at that point that Roscoe, you see a certain elven mage come out to the patio, look around, see you, and then just kind of duck back in.
Okay, I would like to. So let's say where I'm positioned on the map would have been south of the door back inside.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to intentionally walk back up north.
Mm-hmm.
He sees me passing that door.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, if somebody's looking,
mm-hmm.
I would like to pop around the corner to the north, cast invisibility, and then come back onto the patio.
Nice.
About 10 minutes goes by, and you see that same gentleman pop his head out. He comes over to where the bit of that trap you've laid is.
Mm-hmm.
And he uses mold earth to very carefully but quickly move the ground, and he picks up the box, puts it into a bag of holding very quickly, very speedily, and then molds earth back so everything just kind of settles back in, heads back inside.
Okay, at this point, I will maintain invisibility and walk back inside. I'm going to take up a position. Actually, I'm going to walk around the edge of the place,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of tuck myself up next to the buffet, so we're a little bit more spread around the room.
Okay. Oh boy. At this point, you folks see that the Verk gentleman, the heir of the House Verk, is getting fairly belligerent. And he's dancing with his friends, and the Targan is dancing as well, and he bumps into the Targan.
Here we go.
And begins, kind of rifling off a bunch of insults to him. And the Targan just sort of looks at him, because he's bigger than him. Like, the Targan are large. Werebears are big creatures. And the eyes narrow. You can't quite hear them over the band from where you folks are, but words are currently being exchanged, and you see the werebear's claws sort of twinge and ball up into a fist.
This is on the dance floor?
This is in the dance floor, so there's people moving around them.
Closest to?
Probably I'd say 3.
Okay. No one's really over there. I'll start making my way that way, but I kind of have to go around the tables. So if someone else wants
can
to
move that
do
way
it,
fairly quickly as well. I think it's probably best if 2 of us are heading over there.
Agreed. Yeah. If someone else wants to beat us to it, since we have actually the farthest to go to get there.
Kiki, so we all perceive this, right? Like,
it's pretty obvious, and people are kind of moving away from them.
All right, Kiki will go. This is not her strong. She's going to go up to the Targan, up to the werebear, and just kind of like tug on them like a kid would, like an adult's coat.
Yeah.
Like and she'll be like, and she'll just be like, dance with me, and she'll try to like position herself so that to see her, the target has to turn away
The
from
classic girls at a club move.
completely.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh
she's
yeah.
gonna be, but like, I mean, okay, let's be clear. Kiki is like a little 15-year-old Kenku. She's just being sweet and like do. She'll be like, dance with me, and she'll just try to like, kind
Yeah,
of
so
lead
you
them
see the
away a little
target
bit.
being like all like between 6 and 7 feet tall, just kind of around, swings and goes, "What?" And then he has to look for a second because he's expecting somebody bigger, and then he sees the wing hand. He's like, "You're a small Arakoa." And
Kiki
he's
will actually titter at this and like like think it's funny. She's like, not Arakoa, Kinku.
oh,
Kiki.
sorry about that.
I'm Kiki.
Oh, hello,
And then
Kiki. And he'll just grab your hands and start dancing.
So she will, in as much as she can, kind of like lead him back to a different section of the
Yeah,
dance floor,
and you sort of-
as much as all 5 foot and change of her.
He's following
You know,
you because he's sort of drunk. He's
Okay.
drunk enough to have his attention taken away. However, at that, the Verk, insulted that his opponent has left him, reels back and bops him right in the back of the head, causing the target to move forward. The Verk, however, has a very poor expression on his face because that did not put the werebear down as clearly he thought it would. And you see a rage build in this guy's eyes, Kiki, as now what was like a closed fist moves out into a like maiming claw. His hands.
Kate, it looks like you said something earlier, but no audio came through.
Oh, I was saying that like as Kiki was leading the Targan towards the middle of the dance floor, I was still making my way over because I thought 2 of us should be over there for this situation.
Right.
So would I have reached them before the punch happened?
You and Nick would have gotten there right as the Verk came back. The Verk gentleman came back and made contact with the Targan, and now you can see the Targan's right arm is tensing, but not into a fist, into a very wide claw, and his claws are out.
Oh my god. Kiki's going to try. Can she try something?
If Nick is also right there with me, like as we get over there, because I assume we're moving at about the same rate of speed. I
More or
basically want the both of us to do the thing where like you like link arms with someone and like lead them out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then as we do that, I'm going to shake that little bit of string that I have around my wrist, and as I link arms, like as I try and grab his arm, I'm gonna run it into him. And hey, someone needs you outside. Why don't you come with us? And I'm gonna cast suggestion.
Okay.
Nice.
It's a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
I gave him disadvantage because he's very drunk. He got a 5 on the dice, so this works.
Stellar.
And he's
So on a failed save, the creature pursues the course of action you described to the best of its ability.
So he will you'll see the tenseness in his arm that probably Neva can feel relaxes, and the claws retract a bit. He's like, "Oh, okay," and just goes with Nick outside because suggestion lasts for one thing.
Yeah, 8 hours. He does it to the best of his ability.
Yep. So
Completes the
he will
task.
go outside and complete the task because that's what
Yeah.
you suggested to him.
Yep. I did say go outside with us, so I assume Neva, you can come along as well. We're helping
I'm
steer.
going with as well. Yeah, no, this
Yeah.
is it.
It's a joint effort, please.
Outside you go, and the Targan, once he's outside, the magic wears off, and it takes him a moment to be like, wait a minute. I was just gonna fuck some kid up. Why am I outside?
Well, because fucking him up would be rather inconvenient for the Von Lycons, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he deserves it.
He does. I don't disagree with you in the slightest. Might I suggest a rain check, though?
I hate the rain. He says, looking at the link.
Pensive werebear.
Yeah, pensive whimper, like...
Can I offer you a nice tree to punch?
He looks
that in
at
front of
Neva
Neva?
going like... You can see he wants to, but he sees the half-dryad and is like,
Might I suggest something with a bit of denser wood, and if you would, no claws, please?
Like that kid's head.
Perhaps not that dense.
Boom, boom, nice.
Hey-o. To be clear, having the dryad next to me when I said that was on purpose. I wanted him to get uncomfortable and kind of like deflate.
So he will follow Neva over to the woods to go punch a thing. Roscoe, how long does invisibility last?
I get an hour.
Okay. So that situation is taken care of. The next thing that there's Tessa. Okay, great. Tessa, a very short blue tiefling comes up to you that you know is Dala.
Right, okay, we met before. Oh,
With or without pants?
Hello, Tessa. How are you? I'm so glad that you look wonderful, by the way.
oh, thanks, I got this in town. What can I do for you? Having a good time?
Yes, I'm looking for Roscoe, though.
And I kind of are there windows behind me to the patio?
There are.
I kind of look around, and I was like, I don't actually see him.
He's playing very hard to get this one. I like this.
Okay.
Please, if you see him, tell him I'm looking for him.
Will do.
And she walks back off, just out another part of the party. At that point, Roscoe, you see Zev, the one with the platinum arm, is at the buffet. And you can see her kind of looking over at Dala. She's talking to Tessa, and she just very casually says, I don't know if you're here, sir. I think you might be. But I would be very careful if I were you. And she takes food, as if kind of casually talking to no one, and then moves off.
Oh no.
Okay. A voiceless shots back after.
We will come back to that one.
Scoot, now that I'm inside, can I see what table the mage who came outside is at?
He is at table 5 right now.
The trouble table.
Mm-hmm.
Scoot, how long am I going to be in the woods distracting the target and getting him calmed down?
Probably about 5 minutes. He does kind of, after a few moments, he does sit by the lake, kind of like plops down Winnie the Pooh style and just stares at the water. I'm going to brood here for a couple of minutes if you want to go do other things.
Just wanted to make sure you're okay, sir.
Fuck that kid. Just looking at the water.
Just sadly.
I'd rather not. He's not quite my type.
I don't think he's anyone's type.
I am, while invisible, going to wander outside and see if I can see Neva and Nicholas.
You can.
I'll be on my way back in.
Yeah, and he was on their way back.
I would have come inside after Nicholas took him off and it was clear that he was stabilized.
So I just want to run into somebody, and I will drop invisibility. Or actually, they know we discussed me being invisible outside, so that's not going to be a huge shock. I'm going to keep it up for a little while now, but still, and I'm going to whoever I see first, Nicholas or Neva.
Probably Nicholas, yeah.
Probably Nicholas, and I will, because if it's table 5. Human, it can only be that Octa Laszlo, correct? Who came outside?
Yeah, it was just the elf mage.
There's no elf at that table.
Human or elf?
The elf you saw is currently elf. The one of the heirs is sitting at table 5 right now. People are beginning to move around and switch.
Elves. So it was Dari's son. Okay.
Dari's son. Yep.
Yeah. So I am okay. Gotcha. So, oh man, table 4 is the 5 heirs, which is what's throwing me off.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm back. So I will just share with Nicholas that I'll just say, hey, just a heads up, It's me. Don't be scared. There's no ghosts. Well, there's probably ghosts. It's a
You
separate
say, hey, what's
adventure.
up? And I turn around and then, like, karate chop the air a little bit. Yeah. Then I relax on everything.
Darius Sung has the ink pot explosive kit that we found the other day. They came to collect it, so just keep an eye out. And feel free to spread the word.
Got it. As soon as I see Neva coming back from the woods, I'll message her, hit her with them finger guns. Dari-san has the ink thing. Word from Roscoe, Dari-san has the ink thing.
Neva will reply with, if he takes it out, we'll need to stop him.
Cool. I'll head inside and look for Kiki and Tessa and send them the same message, just so that they've got the heads up.
Okay.
Well, if he takes it out, it's going to blow up in his face.
Kiki,
This
you
is
want...
Neva-
Neva was referring to him taking it out of the bag. But
Kiki, I believe you wanted to talk to the bartender?
Yeah, does Kiki see Nicholas before she goes over to the bar?
Probably. You
Well,
can
what's
if
this
you would
sort
like
of
to.
So she'll finger gun Nicholas and be like, "Do you know prestidigitation?"
I'll reply, oh, I didn't know you could message. Yeah, sure do. What's up?
Come to bar, please.
I head over to the bar.
And, so Kiki will have a quiet word with the bartender, who is probably very busy, and be like, "Hi, Kiki, security," and she'll pretend to like flash. She actually doesn't have a badge, although she has this instinct to like
Just hold her hands up
Like-
as if it had a bad.
yeah, she'll pull out a gizmo or something like.
Oh, okay. What can I get for you there, little kinku?
Oh, she's like, no, drinks for table 4. Can you
Oh.
water down?
Sure.
Water
yeah,
down.
no problem.
Yeah. Nick, can you make drinks taste like not watered down? Because
You got it.
Good
Good call.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, like, make a picture of whatever they're drinking and keep the prestidigitated low alcohol over, and then Kiki will also talk to one of the waitstaff to clear the tower of glasses on table 5. Just, she's just trying to do like work with the staff to
It's
keep
fucking
things to the dull
genius.
roar.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So yeah, I'll have the bartender hand me a picture of weak booze, prestidigitate it, put on my best waiter face, and take it over to table 4.
Well, they can still deliver it, whatever. But yes, as long as it's like tastes like it, so she
Yeah.
gives you the thumbs up.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that I've run that scam at college parties, so
Yeah,
I think
no.
I'm pretty confident that I can nail the taste of full strength.
That's true. Okay, yeah, no, right? I can see that.
Oh, yeah.
Kid.
Yeah.
And then you watch
Dude,
them
this-
act like they're drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, this will fuck you up.
Well, and it's great because
Yes.
you can go both ways, right? For the people you like, you give them like a quadruple, but make it not taste like it's killing them on the way down. For the people you
Who
don't
doesn't love
like,
drinking gasoline?
yeah.
So
Everclear that tastes like a daiquiri.
So in addition to just keeping an eye, like, on her colleagues for any like signals or whatever, she'll like scan the room for Tessa and stuff like everyone cool. She'll just see if anyone's acting a little drunk, and she'll kind of repeat the process with Nick and the bartender. She just to say like standing orders is to do this as needed. That's all. That's her shtick.
Tessa.
Sorry, I was muted.
Sure.
Yeah, did I notice anything?
You will actually, because as one of the as someone comes out to clear a lot of those cups away, it is one of the tieflings that Nick was talking to before, and you see that they're trying to put like too many glasses on the tray, and they end up dropping some, and you hear a very specific type of swear in Infernal. It is a little more hissy than it should be, just like Kazas, which you've heard before in the north of Doshnaral.
Does that strike me as something odd? Like, is that a common thing to hear?
No, it's a version that isn't used anymore. It's mostly been outlawed.
Huh. Well, I do find this kind of odd.
Mhm.
watch them.
Yep, and you can see when... make a perception check.
$11.
You can see now as you're really looking at him, he is very much trying to cover up that something on his chest. Like he's trying to make sure that no one can see it.
Where are they at in the room?
So the one guy is at the table for clearing away the things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
just,
right there.
Yeah, he's just speaking to himself in Infernal, which is, something tieflings do from time to time. It's sort of their native.
I have a brilliant idea for him if there's any way for Tessa to communicate this to her.
I don't have message.
Like, even if she just, like, indicates or points that...
If anyone is, like, looking distressed at me, and I notice it, I shoot a message, and I can act as a go-between.
There you have your relay.
I just have to rely enough to notice that you need my attention.
Make an
It's
insight
going to be
check.
so many finger guns.
Make an insight check.
I just walk around
Bang,
like this.
bang.
Yeah.
Make an insight check, Robert. See if you notice the weirdness with Tessa.
9.
Nope.
Fuck. Sorry, I tried.
So I'm still kind of by where, like, they'd be heading back into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Does Tessa see me?
Tessa can see you. She can see most things in the room. She's quite tall.
Can Tessa give me a high sign about those two, about the tieflings?
I don't know if she would.
Okay, fair.
Actually, I would like to cast. So this is obviously triggering something. Is flashing, as a warning for me. I'm going to cast Detect Good and Evil.
Okay.
In the area.
Yep. The tiefling gentleman lights up as very evil, like demonically so.
Okay, and me being a paladin, this is very obvious to me. I don't have a messaging spell, but I can kind of try to make eye contact with everybody, the rest of the group, and kind of like dart my eyes towards this, or like kind of just tilt my head to this guy who's busy fiddling with his cups.
Do you do the eyebrow waggle thing? Like,
Yeah, it kind of looks like I'm having
I'm like
a seizure a little bit.
Did you have to do a performance?
Just breaks down to big waves, really big
Like,
waves.
I'm trying to be as subtle as possible, but I'm not really subtle. I don't do subtle.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound like one of Tess's like calling cards.
That's everyone's passive insight or passive perception.
19.
10.
16.
Perception's 10 for Kiki.
Okay.
She's looking.
Roscoe and Neva definitely see Tessa struggling with something, or maybe she has to poop. So, you might want to go over there and relieve her one way or another.
I'm pretty close. I'll walk in and head down to Tessa. What's up? You need somebody to take your spot for a minute?
No, and I try to be as quiet as possible. Again, not super my forte. Actually, I'm going to take him out to the patio. I think that seems like a better
Okay,
plan.
back to the patio.
Neva is also moving in that direction. She's not going to come outside, though, just so that she can keep an eye on this tiefling while you guys are clearly having a conversation.
So
What's up?
as those two go outside, he's Neva. What you see with your passive perception, because I'm not gonna fucking make you roll, is that tiefling. Once Tessa turns her back, he is staring at her, and there is a look of great concern. And the moment she and Roscoe walk out that patio door, he grabs what he can and pretty much bolts into the kitchen.
I'm following.
Okay, on the patio, what's happening?
Listen,
What's up?
Roscoe, there's not a lot of things that can that unnerve me usually, but I did. He said something in a language that was only used in the north of my country, and it's not a
Okay.
very common thing. And when I checked him out, he is radiating evil, like pure evil.
Okay, well,
So something is going on here. So I didn't want to just announce that, but if we could spread
Is
the
this-
word, we should keep
yeah,
an
does
eye
anybody
out.
else know?
No, and then I go over to like look at the door, and I'm like, he's not there.
I
There is, however,
okay.
a hummingbird hanging out there.
So I'm gonna go back to my where I was before. I'm like looking around.
Hummingbird. Is it the same bird from before?
It's still Pippet, yes.
Still Pippet? I will say in Orin, Pippet. Neva needs to know that
Person.
horny one, but not Tessa, is evil. Yeah, that'll do.
Pippet kind of gives the head twitch, says to you, Neva chases in the
Excellent.
kitchen, but Pippet darts off ahead of you to go warn Neva that this dude is super duper evil because he's a hummingbird and his move speed is a fuck ton faster than yours. Sorry.
I will just say, as Tessa's heading back to the door, Neva already knows I'm going to circle around. Since I've been kind of like the outside person, I am just going to come straight down from the patio and kind of take up a position on the south side of the building for the moment.
Yep. So as that happening, Neva, you enter the kitchen because it took you a little bit more. You had to walk a little more, to not cause a panic. Had to move a little bit slower than this guy is, and you see him. He gets to his compatriot. They say something in Infernal to each other, and they head out the back door. Roscoe, are you invisible or no?
I wouldn't have dropped it yet because I came over and said to Tessa that I was there. So as long as we haven't been a full hour, I'm probably getting close, but I don't think it's been a full hour.
No, not after you did that. So you see these two are talking in Infernal and beginning to try to move out the back of the kitchen where you are, and they are heading towards you, trying to circle around the building. And they are moving quick.
Okay, I will, for the moment, just basically tail them.
Yep.
I mean, Neva's gonna come out in just a second.
Yeah.
And she's going to say to them, "Oh, are you guys on your break? Is it a good time for,
Yep. And as one turns, he hucks an Eldritch Blast at you.
Figured he would.
See, these are the guys that give us warlocks a bad reputation.
He misses wildly though, as he only rolled I don't think a 13 hit your AC.
Nope. And Neva's immediately gonna drop an entangle on his ass. Now, to be fair, she can't see where Roscoe is, so Roscoe may also get stuck. Sorry, but she's gonna drop it on them.
They're right around Roscoe, probably, if you want to hit them. So, Roscoe, you were in. You will be.
I'm not worried about it.
What
do what you gotta do.
So y'all need to make strength saving throws.
Do the rest of us have any idea that this is going on?
What do they need to hit?
15.
One does, one does not.
I got a 5, so I am.
So
trapped.
Roscoe is now. There are vines just hanging there in the middle around something, but you can't quite see what.
Am I just help me understand entangle? Am I
okay? A creature in the area, a creature restrained by the plants can use they are restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. It does not say whether or not you can do anything while in there.
I think restrained. I can still cast and stuff. I'm gonna check.
Great, you want to try and get the other one?
That's what I'm about to do.
So one just bursts out and begins trying to. He takes out a very long knife and begins to try to hack his other friend out.
I am from my restrained place. Restrained creature. Speed 0. Can't benefit any bonuses to speed. Attack rolls against me have advantage, and my attack rolls have disadvantage.
But not.
And I have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. So I would like to cast Hold Person on the one that didn't get entangled.
Okay. He did not. No, he got an A on the dice. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, boy. So I am now appearing still tangled up, but feeling okay about it. Suddenly the vines color in a human being.
An avenging angel, wreathed in vines, and it's just hold still.
Trying very hard not to be have his arm snap back to his body,
Well, I like to think that the vines
don't you dare be gone.
What they were told Because I also picture that like the Vines and Neva have a it's less of like a do this and more of like an understanding.
Right.
So it's like, listen, we were told to hold anything in this space, but we know you're literally on the side of angels. So like I can still like raise my arm very carefully and cast hold person without issue.
Okay.
As long as you're sufficiently dramatic.
This is not spike growth, so nothing's stabbing you.
Yeah. It's just Vines. Whatever.
You're like, if Roscoe doesn't move, nobody gets to move.
So actually, you see like this almost swamp thing of vines start to point at the other guy first, because I would do my movements before the spell releases and invisibility drops, and then he stops as I appear.
Both are held in place. One is entangled. One is on hold person. What is your time is going to move a little differently now because those spells have timers on them. So Neva, what are you doing?
I'm sending Chick to Kiki.
Zoop.
And the message there is bring restraints and reinforcements.
Very apropos for our intro today.
Yeah. Bring restraints and then
Kiki's like,
ask them whether or not.
Yeah.
Kiki's like, we're still watching. I don't know. Oh, right.
Since Entangle lets me try to keep making the strength save to get out of it, and hold person is just hold, right?
No, he gets a save at the end of his turn.
He gets a save too. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna wait a beat, and then whenever right before he tries to make his save,
so
I get to make my save. So just let me know how often that is.
Right. So the hummingbird's going. It's hit Kiki. Deliver the message to Kiki. They are both going to try to save out of their particular predicaments. The the held gentleman is still held. The guy who was entangled enough, the first gentleman succeeded enough in cutting it to allow him to get out. Plus he crit, so he just managed to slog it off and moves through the difficult terrain and begins booking it north.
I'm still entangled.
Yep.
I tried to save. I got a 9.
All right. So here's the thing, though. Since the one who was held by the entangle is no longer held, I don't need to keep concentrating on that, so I can drop that one. And instead...
Gracias, I say in Orin.
Neva doesn't actually
It's my
speak Orin.
favorite
She speaks to the birds directly. She does not speak Orin as the language. She has no idea what you said.
I don't know that. This is still very fresh
She knows like
relationship.
4 words in Orin. She knows like the equivalent of my French, which is hello, my name is, and I don't understand.
Hello, my name is Biblioteca.
So I'm gonna cast. Let's see. Wait, shit! I don't want to do that, do I?
Time is ticking.
I'm gonna
cast Entangle
bop.
again after then.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna cast Entangle on him again.
Okay.
Where he is now. I get 90 feet out of it.
What's the spell save?
15.
He makes it.
Motherfucker.
So seeing this
I
check
pop
out.
off an Eldritch Blast. I'm shooting.
Okay, go for it.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
The government-approved version of saying those words. It's 13 hit.
Misses, actually.
All right.
At this point, though, as Kiki, you're getting that information, Tessa, you see your friend reappear, but outside, running across the patio, and Nick, you can see that too.
Okay, I see the one running. I'm going to check the range on my spell.
So he is
30 feet. How far is he from me?
He's probably like 20-ish.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to kind of cup my hands and holler to him, "Hey, knock knock!" And as he says who's there, I need him to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, no.
Yes, do it.
Yes.
13?
Do it.
It is DC 13, so does he succeed or
He
fail?
wins.
Okay. I go for like the interrupting cow says moo, but I wait until he finishes saying it, so it doesn't land.
He just sort of ignores you and keeps running. Tessa, you're muted. Deb,
Still
you're
muted.
So where where is he in relation to where Nick and I are?
So I'm going to use Kiki for a moment. He is like there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to cast Command on him.
Okay.
He needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Less than last time. So he got a 11.
I have a 13.
Okay.
So with my command, I am going to, in a very booming voice, say halt. The target doesn't move and takes no actions.
He stops.
It's only for one round, though. So somebody else has to go, like... So I'm going to go out and use my movement to...
Mhm.
Where was it? 2, 3, 5, 6.
Kiki?
So Kiki will run out to the patio when she sees all this happening and stuff. She'll see the guy who's like suddenly frozen in his tracks. She's going to grab out what looks like one of her bombs, but isn't. And she's going to wind it up as a bonus action. And she's going to throw, it's a clockwork net bomb that she cobbled together last night. And she's going to, hopefully, it's completely non-lethal, but she's going to hope that it, yes, okay.
It works.
That it restrains him, yes. So he has to be, it is a dex save, but he's frozen in place.
Well,
So-
he's standing there, but he rolls a 5 in the deck save, so it hits him.
Okay. Groovy. So he, like, you see this ball go bump, 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 and suddenly all of these ropes shoot out, kind of like crazy vines, and they just wrap around him. So he's restrained again.
Neva is delighted by the fact that Kiki has basically created a technology version of Entangle.
It's
She's
true,
very
actually.
excited and finds it adorable. She's also going to... So was that on the held person one or the commanded one?
The commanded one. So that one is
Okay.
now restrained. You two still have to deal with the commanded is, the held person is standing there, so you can tie him up, but that's
Who
going to
was
be
like
That's what I'm gonna
hear
do.
about? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over and
Neva's
assist
going
with
to go
that.
tie him up while you keep the whole person on.
Right. So now
Yeah.
that Tessa, you see that he's there. Like now that you kind of tangled up in these ropes, you can see the tattoo he has in his chest.
Do I recognize it?
Oh, you do.
What is it?
So you can tell a couple things first. One, he's a Tory. He's from Antara. Secondly, he is a follower of Nazrax, which you know
Hashtag
what
not
that
all
is.
three.
That's I let out a swear in the native Doshi language. This is not something I was expecting to see here, but was warned about previously. So I'm going to approach this entangled person,
And he's fighting the nets.
so he can still talk because he's not paralyzed.
No, he's just in he's in a boatload of ropes.
And I'm particularly upset at this gentleman, so I'm gonna kind of crouch down and very intimidatingly ask him, "What are you doing here?"
Make an intimidation check, please. With advantage. He's in a very bad way, and he knows what you are.
Oh my God! What
2
No.
6s.
Just be scary.
Oh no. So he is. I'm going to say, like, despite the rolls, Deb, he's scared of you. He's just not pissing his pants at the moment, and he just looks at you, and in your native, in a version of your native tongue, which you understand, he asks you. He refers to you as heart spawn, in an insulting way, and he says, "Just to kill him and be done with it."
No, I don't think so. That's not how I roll. I respond in the native language.
So Kiki and Nick, you're sitting there listening to these two just kind of go back and forth in Infernal.
Can you be like, you find out what happens? What goes on?
Bless
what
you.
the plan is?
Bless you.
Yeah, because we don't.
Bless you.
Is very much like a and then
Good
it's
seeing
back
that.
and forth. Yeah.
Can I get you a glass of water or something?
Kiki's like, he's scared yet? Like he looks at you. Is he scared?
He will look at. He will continue to look straight at Tessa and just go, "We're taking the gate, and we will take back the south."
And Tessa just kind of lets out a deep sigh and is like, "It's gonna hard to do that from jail."
I survived the
Or
purge.
from hell.
I survived the purge of the Black Robes. I'll survive that.
And so he's entangled, right? With like
Yeah,
the,
he's under like a literal boat level of ropes.
How long does that last?
Until he can kind of free himself, but like he's not in a real good position to do that, as you have your Tinkerer and your Mage are very close by.
And I'm also gonna just for good measure hold him down with my hand.
He says as he's not the strong one, as you kind of press into his chest a bit.
Yeah, I don't obviously not gonna kill him. But we need to get some authority here. We need to get him and his buddy. I guess I turn to who's to remind me?
Nick and Kiki.
I kind of translate, and I was like, we need to get him and his accomplice locked up immediately.
Oh. So Kiki can run inside and grab the first von Lycon she sees.
Right, so as Kiki does that, though, down south, the gentleman is restrained now, but comes out of the hold and looks. Who's by him? Neva? I think Roscoe.
It's both of us.
Right.
Yeah.
So he sits down and he's held and he just sits there and he's smiling at the both of you. Moving a cat.
Sorry. Who did you come for?
He begins to speak to you in Infernal. Do you speak Infernal?
Neva does not. Aaliyah speaks Infernal, but Neva, I do not know. Nia does not have it.
Roscoe?
No.
Okay.
I got a couple, but not that.
Is he casting a spell?
No, he's just talking in a language they don't speak. But
Good
Neva would notice that something is happening in the sky. As the sort of moonlight and stars, the light around you begins to go very red.
And it's not like a blood moon.
No.
Do I see this happen? Is it a localized effect?
It is, and you hear the Targan on the other side by the lake roar a battle
I'm going to
cry.
smack him upside the head with my quarterstaff and knock him unconscious.
All right, we go ahead and make an attack roll. Actually, he's helpless. You're going to crit him.
I don't want to kill him.
Right,
I just want
you're going to hit him with a quarterstaff. It's a blunt object. You're fine.
You get concussed, bitch.
You
You want the actual attack roll still or no?
Just roll the damage and double it.
All right.
How close are these two bogeys to each other?
Pretty far. Like they're back. The one's back here. I'm in the wrong layer. Now I'm in the right layer.
Wait, yeah, he takes 10 damage.
Right, he goes out. That's enough to knock him. So
Perfect.
one's in the patio, one's behind the kitchen. However, you hear
I see.
Nick, you can feel the magic for a second, and you look over, and then from the forward tree line come a number of tieflings, very armed, and some like minor demons.
Oh, very cool.
Now
I'm
it's
going to, as soon as I see them come out, 90 foot range, so as close to them as I can get, I'm just going to immediately pop sleep.
Okay, that
Good
will
call.
hit the group of them as the
So I can affect 31 HP worth of creatures starting from whoever has the least.
yeah a couple people fall over to sleep.
Okay, so yeah, that's some of them are out of it for now.
Right, and
All right.
as you're watching like that, there's like probably a good platoon or two of them.
Shit.
Because I think I'm at our next. Well, actually, I've got an even further range than that, but I'm at our next most range here.
Mhm.
I'm dropping spike growth.
Okay.
20-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
So I will hit as many of them as I possibly can.
You're gonna damage some because it's like they're a big mess of people. Like you're gonna hit some of
2d4
them.
for every 5 feet they travel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hazardous terrain, so they move slowly.
Okay, they continue to march through it.
We
I
are
am going.
we are clearly not the only security, right? Like there are house guards
There are, and they're currently fighting things up there, and
Oh, okay.
they're moving up there. Although what you next hear is a rip of thunder, a crash of lightning, and then another weird thing happens as the literal sky opens up for a second, and a meteor falls from the heavens onto the group of demons. Just boom! Followed by a second, a third, and a fourth.
Does Neva recognize these meteors?
I mean, they're meteors, so...
Has she met them
You
before?
know
These
somebody
meteors?
who really
It's Steve. It's Steve the Meteor.
As
He was always
the
the big
leader-
hit at the college parties.
Yeah.
But like Neva knows somebody who really likes dropping meteors on things, and
So-
like despite the fact that the meteors that she drops come from a staff that could also totally be used for a whole bunch of really interesting things, dropping meteors is the thing the person who runs that staff likes best.
Quite possibly. Because the next thing that Neva sees as you folks begin rushing forward is that the very large musin steps forward as the kind of the boss demon of this group rushes towards the party. And you see that gentleman take a butter knife, and as the demon comes up with a very big axe, he catches it with the butter knife, that as they make contact, the butter knife is actually a very large long sword that is wreathed in vines and gems. And the glimmer falls off of this gentleman as what was once
cool.
a sort of tallish musin gives way as it starts from the top of the head down. The sort of brownish hair gives way to long auburn locks and then very tall elven ears as probably one of the swollest Sylvans, elf folk you've ever seen, appears before you, fully armored, with a shield in one hand and a sword in the other. Next to him walks out the lady musin.
And the lady musin walks up, and the disguise melts away to a rather tall tiefling woman with long red hair, wearing a battle gown full of fall-colored leaves, and she stands in front, and she's just shouting at these demons, "I was goddamn having a night off and enjoying my drink. I'm gonna fuck all of you up." And then cast another meteor strike.
Yep, so 4 more rocket to the earth in a very tight cluster, wiping out most of them. At that point, the four of the Falkland creatures come up, and they begin to shrink down to dogs. A corgi, a Boston Terrier, a dachshund that's dressed in like rogue leathers, and a very surly-looking pug. As a cavalcade of magic is thrown from the pug and the Boston Terrier, as the dachshund and the corgi join the gentleman up front, pretty much wiping out whatever is left.
Neva will come up and join them. She's going to bow, like not super deeply, but she's going to bow politely and say, "Your Majesties." Pug, Amina.
Oh, Neva! Hi! Are you enjoying your sabbatical?
It's been interesting so far. Not bored, at least.
And, like, kind of like as Mara is talking to Neva, her attention is turned to Neva, and she's just shooting, like, lightning bolts out of her hand and, like, popping off demons one by one. Just having a casual conversation.
Neva's got her bow out, like, just in case any of them are, like,
Managed to slip
shot.
through.
She knows, like, it's very rare that one would, but on the off chance, because, she's slightly distracted right now. So she's got the bow out, but she's not shooting anything, because Mara's having fun. Were you invited as yourself or as your cover?
As myself, I'm actually pretty good friends with the Von Lycons.
I'm not surprised. I figured there was a reason that they asked for our group.
Yeah, some of their kids came to the college a while back, and
I recall I supervised some of them on the camping trip where we took it to the edge of the wilds.
yeah, we were warned about this group, so the Von Lycons needed a little bit of extra muscle. Not that you guys aren't doing great.
No, it's appreciated. The two of them, handleable. The small platoon, they perhaps appreciated.
Yeah, you don't mess with that man's followers, she says with like a seething rage.
Oh, hey, that Vork inside wasn't causing any more problems before you left, was he?
The Bork?
Vork?
Verk? Was he doing anything to me?
You probably didn't notice him.
Not to you, Grace.
Lady Stormbringer.
I just figured if he was making enough of a commotion to be noticed by you, then he was making too much of a commotion.
He's a prick, yells the pug as he sends off like a daylight spell into a bunch of demons.
I mean, it's just like a normal party asshole to me.
Entirely correct, Professor.
I told you not to call me that.
Why do you think I call you that?
Fucking dryads. The rest of you are watching this sort of just happen, and eventually the demons are wiped clean. There are a lot of holes in the ground, though, where these meteors hit.
I'll fix it. I always fix it.
Neva can also help with the fixing.
Nick's taking a lot of notes on their casting styles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually gonna, Roscoe's actually gonna stay down on the bottom half of the house and just kind of watch what has become the back door, just to make sure there's nothing coming that way.
Mm-hmm. Still nothing.
You said I was, and then nothing else made it in.
When I was a young boy.
This tiefling showed up and dropped a bunch of meteors all over the land.
My father
Really not an uncommon
took me
experience.
to the Lycons to hear
So I
the
think Kiki
pantsless
would be-
band.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, there we go.
So I think Kiki would be standing there with her beak open and like a bomb in her hand, like she was ready to throw it, but like just saw meteors and like magic bolts, and she just was like just staring like, okay, I'll just wait. So she was pretty impressed with the whole light show and everything. That's all.
Tessa's still holding down that dude because she does not want him to escape.
Mm-hmm. After that happens, though, the party guests inside are very amazed by a lot of this. With the exception of the Doshi representative, it seems like they've seen this shit before.
Especially the lightning part.
Yeah. But they're sort of just applauding now as Roscoe, out the back door comes Dala, and she saunters over to you, and she looks down at the gentleman, and she sort of puts things together. She whips out a dagger and cuts the shirt straight up the center, not cutting him. And then you see there's a symbol on his kind of lower abdomen tattooed in there, and she smiles at that and pokes at it with a dagger. She goes, we've been looking for you and your friends for a while. We didn't know you got this far west. And he spits in her face, and she kicks him in his. And she goes, Roscoe, would you mind? I have, we have ways of dealing with renegades such as this back home.
No, by all means, please.
Yep, so she takes the bindings, and she just starts dragging his ass towards the woods, and he really doesn't want to go. And then shortly you see Bors and Zev come out too, and they ask you where Dala went. And they follow after Dala.
I think as Dala's dragging him away, and he's like fighting it a little bit, I probably mutter to myself, "I hear you, man."
Okay. Tessa, eventually the Patel von Lycon comes out and says, so you have one as well.
Yep, I'm just kind of like, I got my shield and I'm just like pressing him really hard into the ground.
Yeah, does this one do magic?
Did I see this one do magic?
No, you didn't.
Unknown, but let's take precaution and assume he does.
Good. Bind the hands. He is to be a present to some of our guests of honor.
What do I bind him with?
Rope unconsciousness.
Okay, I bashed him over the head with my shield.
Bonk, he goes down. Wonderful.
And I
the
tie his
classics.
hands
The
Just
classics,
kind of like shrug,
bro.
like, all right.
Look, Kate is absolutely concerned about long-term concussive and post-concussive damage as a result of blows upside the head. Neva does not terribly give a shit about these associated individuals having concussions.
Summoning demons, not on my watch.
Yep, and Kiki, you follow as one of the, as the Boston Terrier, kind of saunters their way out to the unconscious demon by Tess, and she goes, "Oh, thank you, dear." And you see her place a device on his chest that looks like a spider, and it clamps onto his clothing, and she hits the button, and he disappears.
Whoa.
Kiki's like, how'd you do that?
Oh, she goes, "I'm sorry. It's a gift from an old friend. Her name is Bottle. She makes wonderful things, actually."
Kiki can almost not talk. She's like, she's got this, like, another braingasm. Like, how do you do that with device and
So
magic?
this is the one
And
that
she's like,
this is the one that's over by Neva and
This was the one that was by Tessa, that Tessa was holding down. The one that Roscoe had is now in the custody of the Hand.
okay,
And-
because I was trying to figure out where Kiki was relative to me.
Yeah, so he is technically he's in the custody of the of Dalla's robes, whose name I am blanking on.
The Black Cloaks?
No, that's Perseus's.
The
Storm.
Tide?
The Storm.
Oh, the Storm.
Yeah, he's in, which is not a great place for him to be, but you
No,
don't
it's
know
not.
that. So once again, the three tieflings come out, and well, I should say only three tieflings come out of the woods, Roscoe.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Is it the three right ones? Like
It's-
the guy who got tied up didn't like convince them of shit.
No,
Right?
he's not there. He is just
Okay,
absent.
good.
Yep.
I have no qualms with that.
And you see that the Zev is kind of focusing up her hand and moving it, and they just walk back in the party.
that's pretty badass. Just
Yeah.
don't say anything. They don't say anything. They're just like, I need a drink now.
Mora, would you... So Patel comes out to view Morin. Your Majesty, thank you for the fireworks. It saved me a lot of money.
Well, I always know how to make an entrance, and I take a sip of my wine, which I was holding the whole time, obviously.
Obviously.
Now, I hate to be a burden, but could you... And he sort of motions to the crater that is now sitting in the middle of his property.
Yeah, okay, so hold this. She kind of gives him the wine to hold, and she takes the staff with both hands and kind of gives it like a swirl, and the land kind of molds back into where it was before the meteors had struck.
Does she do the thing where, like, if you like bend down and look at it from the side, the grass is slightly uneven and it makes her face?
I'm not getting the reference.
Well, no, just like leaving little like pictures of her face all over the land. Seems on brand.
That's a great idea.
I mean, that's
It's
one
not a
way
reference to
to,
anything. I just thought it would be funny.
it's one way to make an impact.
Oh,
Or rather, make an impression.
There we are.
oh.
Mora was here. Thank you, Your Majesty.
In elegant cursive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can go have some of that wine. We've paid for it, and I know how much you and your associates enjoy a good drink.
And she takes her wine glass back, and she just kind of pulls one of the bottles of wine out of nowhere and just refills it.
Great. He just walks back in.
All right, let's party!
Yep. Now
We
things.
still work here.
I'm
Oh
gonna.
wait, that's the queen. That's the queen. Never mind. Sort
Yeah,
of.
that's Her Majesty.
The
You guys go back to work. I'm gonna get drunk.
Mara proceeds to get about as shit-faced as you can, to the point where, like, those of you that are more veteran drinkers, like Nick and Roscoe, are like, how in the fuck has she not died? Like, no, it's miraculously concerning, because you're watching her put down, like, 5 wine bottles, and, like, the math doesn't work. Like, she should be dead. Yeah, like, Kiki doesn't make, like, Kiki, I imagine, has a rough idea of how alcohol works, and you're like, no, that's a tiefling. That's not how that works. Like, she's not even that big. Like, she's
looking
tall,
at
but
like,
she's not that big.
Yeah, she's calculating like body mass index, blood alcohol, coaching. Like she's doing this whole like calculation thing, and it just doesn't add up. She knows numbers don't lie, so she's very
Yeah,
confused.
really, the only thing of it is at the end of the night, she climbs onto her husband's back, and he sort of carries her to where they were sleeping. And you're not sure if she's just that drunk or she's just tired. Like, she might be a bit of both.
It can be both.
Yeah.
Both is good.
But eventually the night passes without much of an incident, because as shitty as anyone would have been at this point, after that display, no one's going to fuck around, because that's just a bad idea. And the night ends, and your labors are finished for this particular job the next morning.
Towards the end of the night, I'd like to find Pug and just be like, "Hey, sir, I'm sorry, that lightning spell that you were doing, where did you learn that? I can do." I hold up like I don't know, an apple or something, and I shock and grasp it, and it crackles.
That's a good start.
But more range would be. That looks so really cool.
You know what the secret is?
No.
Getting good.
I almost said it. I promise I almost said those words for you.
He looks at you.
Secret.
And so everyone gets the picture. This dog is sitting on a table. Just on a table, and Nick's like in a chair, and they're roughly about eyesight, because he's a tiny pug dog.
Yeah, check that.
He's like, look, you want to learn some real magic? Come to the crossroads.
Sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm. And you see him just take, you don't know how he's holding it, but he just takes a big hit from a big flask and offers you some.
I give it a sniff warily.
It's actually moonshine. Like, it hurts to smell it.
I'll have a little bit to be polite, but
Okay.
like a very small sip.
Make a con save, please.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought was coming.
Ba-ba-ba.
Two.
You're like 3 beers in now, whatever that means for Nick.
That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's strong.
You live with those two, and he points over to the tiefling woman, piggybacking off with the elf gentleman. You need it strong.
Fair. Thank you. That's hopefully I'll see you at the crossroads.
Yeah,
Thank
when
you.
you can make it. We'll sort you right.
Literally.
Does anyone else want to do anything before the evening is over, as the party winds down and all the guests begin, leaving?
I think Kiki's just in awe. She's never seen so much powerful magic at once. So she's a little bit just like, her beak is just agape at everything. She's trying to be professional and keep scanning the room, but she's like thinking about all the spells she saw go off. Amazing.
Neva is going to, at some point, she'll have like just a small conversation with Ben about the kind of incursion, and
Yeah, you catch him with the sleeping more on his back as he's heading towards his bungalow.
I'll have
not
written
very
up like
lovely.
a small report of what happened. It's in a coded text, but I'll give him the basically the letter in the envelope and ask him when he gets back, could he post it to the Spring Court, please?
Of course.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Ben, please, for the love of God, for the love of the gods. By
You
the
grew up in
seasons.
the Fey Courts. You kind of get conditioned to address people by titles. It's going to take a while.
Right, but we aren't the Fey Courts. Well, not technically. Are we the Fey Courts? He says, looking at Mora.
Sort of. Maybe.
You're somewhat.
I'm like quarter Fae.
You're uniquely your own.
I'm a person.
But I'm older than both of you, and I've spent my entire life addressing people by titles. So again, it will take me some practice.
Yeah, but old dogs can learn new tricks, and he nods at you.
Keep up the good work. Ara says with a drunken thumbs up.
Neva slips her a good berry. Just for drunk snacks.
She obviously eats it because she's going to eat anything you put in her mouth right now. Does that have any special properties?
I mean, good berries do like 1 HP, right?
Yeah, and it's filling. Like, you feel full as far as food goes.
So good.
Drunk snack.
They walk off. So does anyone else want to do anything this evening? Okay. Dawn comes. The cleaning of the party begins to come up. All of the attendees have had a lovely time, and they begin to leave. You are then summoned before Patel for your payment. You folks receive your initial payment, which was the fuck did I say it was?
5,000 gold pieces each. No, I want to say it was
200.
200.
I wanna
And we
say
got
each.
we got an advance of like 20 or something.
Right. So he gives you the remainder of the payment. So you each receive 230 gold.
Oh, 250. Yeah,
250. He also throws in, because you had to kind of deal with some extra things, another 200 gold on top of it.
Wow.
Ooh. That's
a
no
nice
joke.
bonus.
I
Yeah.
mean, you dealt with it. You helped to deal with a demon incursion. That's not,
That's
hazard
some.
pay.
That's some. That's
above
some
our pay
level
grade.
4 money right there.
They have it in the Von Lycons. And he goes, I appreciate this, folks. And if you ever need work in the city again, or anything for that matter, you can feel free to come to our door.
We'll be sure to reach out.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful.
Thank you for quite a memorable event.
These parties often are. If it's not some other fucking hooligans, it's some other nonsense.
May your next party be blissfully demon-free.
Hopefully. We'll have to put some words up, he says, shaking his head. And he leaves you all there in the bright morning. You are able to get back to Thunderblade if you wish to head back down to Moore's Hollow. If that's what you folks will head there. You take your time moving around back to Moore's Hollow. You arrive, and at the guild hall are messages for all of you.
Take a look.
They're the ones I sent you.
Okay, yeah.
So mine is, unless you're about to do something sweet, sorry.
If you would, we are moving into a little bit of time for folks. I know that at bedtime, so
Yeah, I need to call it
right.
tonight. But perhaps we could, in our text-based RP channels, discuss a little bit, and then we can make a plan for.
Yep,
moving
and
forward.
we'll go over them next week. So
Perfect.
thank you, folks, for joining us, and thank you, Deb, for playing 2 characters for the evening. And we will see you all next time at Ryam. In Ryam. Have a good night.
Yay.
Bye, friends. My cat also says bye.
So some bookkeeping for you folks. I would like everyone to level up.
Yeah. Guys, I think I'm going to do something interesting and take a 3rd class.